Welcome back to Car Trend, where passion meets power, and today, we've got something that blends nostalgia with pure off-road attitude. This is the new, reimagined 1972 Volkswagen Beetle, and trust me, you've never seen the bug look quite like this. At first glance, what hits you is the classic silhouette, that instantly recognizable round shape, the fenders, the gentle curves of the body that harken back to an era when cars had personality built into their sheet metal. But this isn't your grandfather's Beetle. This is a bold, off-road beast, lifted, rugged, and ready to throw mud. This particular build brings the original charm of the 72 Beetle and fuses it with serious trail capabilities. Let's start with the stance. This car doesn't sit, it stands. It's got an aggressive lifted suspension setup that gives it real ground clearance, letting it tackle terrain you wouldn't dare attempt in a stock Beetle. That's right, this bug is meant for dirt, rock, sand, and everything in between. Wrapped around the custom wheels are massive off-road tires, chunky, grippy, and unmistakably aggressive. They extend beyond the arches with purpose, and the widened fenders wrap them like battle armor. These are not for show, they're functional, trail-tested, and give the Beetle a muscular attitude it never had from the factory. As we move around to the front, we're greeted by the familiar round headlights, but now framed by a more utilitarian, rally-ready look. Mounted above the windshield is a slim, high-powered LED light bar, perfect for lighting up a dark trail. And up top, a roof rack finishes the look, ready for gear, a spare tire, or even a rooftop tent if you're feeling adventurous. Now let's talk about the showroom. The Beetle sits proudly in a modern Volkswagen dealership, surrounded by pristine white walls and glossy white floors. There's a massive VW logo glowing on the back wall, reflecting off the showroom tiles like a badge of honor. This clean, bright environment makes the rugged personality of the off-road Beetle stand out even more. It's like seeing a wild animal in a glass box, controlled, but ready to break out at any moment. And it's not alone. On both sides, two more modified Beetles flank it like loyal companions, all sharing the same deep, rich dark blue paint, a color that brings class to its chaos. Their symmetry enhances the impact of the car in the middle, giving the whole scene a kind of showroom harmony, clean, calm, yet full of energy. Let's step inside. The interior of this build sticks to its vintage roots, but with subtle off-road upgrades. You'll still find the original steering wheel, minimalist dash, and analog gauges that defined the Beetle's charm, but now paired with modern rugged materials, waterproof seat covers, roll cage reinforcements, and digital trail GPS units. It's a mix of retro and practical, tailored for drivers who want to feel the history but live in the now. But here's what really makes this Beetle special, it's not just for display. Under the hood, depending on the build, you'll likely find either a refreshed air-cooled flat 4 or a modern crate engine swap, giving it both the authentic Beetle sound and enough punch to get you out of a muddy ditch. Some builds even go for electric conversions, turning the bug into a silent off-road explorer. Either way, the mechanical heart of this machine matches its bold exterior. And that's rare. There's a reason the Beetle has endured for generations. Born in the late 1930s, it became a post-war icon, a car for the people, affordable, reliable, and quirky. By the time the 1972 model came around, the Beetle had cemented itself as a global icon, a car you could fix with basic tools, a car that looked happy even when covered in dust. But this version doesn't just smile, it growls. Every curve now feels like a statement. Every bolt-on fender, every inch of lift, every scuff on those off-road tires tells you, this is still the people's car, just a more fearless version of it. It doesn't beg for attention. It earns it. And that's what Car Trend is all about, not just showing you the cars, but the stories behind them. This 1972 Volkswagen Beetle may have started life as a humble commuter car, but someone, somewhere, saw it and said, I can turn this into something wild. That spirit, of customization, of honoring the past while reimagining it for a new kind of adventure, that's what makes this build a showstopper. It's not perfect in the modern sense. It doesn't have the digital gauges or lane keeping assist. But what it gives you is more valuable. Raw connection, mechanical honesty, and the feeling that every drive is a little bit of rebellion. You feel every bump. You hear every gear shift. And when you roll into a car meet, even surrounded by supercars, this thing will turn heads, not because it's expensive but because it's authentic. So here's the big question, is this the return of the Beetle? Well, not officially. But in garages around the world, builders are breathing new life into these classics, turning bugs into Baja warriors and off-road heroes. And maybe that's the best kind of comeback, not from a factory, but from passion. If you've got a Beetle sitting in your driveway, or a dream build in your head, let this be your sign. The 70s are back. Simplicity is cool again. And sometimes, the most unforgettable cars aren't the ones that go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, they're the ones that make you feel something the moment you see them. Thanks for watching. If you love classic cars reimagined for a new generation, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Car Trend, and let us know in the comments, what would your dream Beetle build look like? Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and as always, keep driving something that makes your heart race.